As you can see, I'm standing in the circle. I have not talked for a few years now. I've posted some older videos, but I don't know, it's just time to be quiet. Felt like I'd already said everything. I have no idea what it is I think so important to say today that I'm going to record it. But something just said, go to the circle and talk. And in a sense, it's sort of like just talk about what's there, what's present. So one of the things that excuse me for a minute. So I think what I want to talk about is what does medicine of one, as the medicine of one that embodies my personal work, my point of view, what does it have to do with Advaita and all these audiobooks that I post, primarily from Ramana Maharshi and Nisargadatta Maharaj? That speak of, in a way, the unspeakable. So the circle that I showed you is meant to be circles within circles on into infinity, like when you drop a pebble in the water. So they're not separate, they're all part of this one. So I use the circle as an aid to feel and talk about your true I am-ness, presence. And so when I come to the circle, when I'm just sitting in the center and I'm quiet, it's helping me to abide as that. No matter whether I'm thinking or my body's moving, that's all happening within that I am. And it's as close to me as a breath, letting the air out, sinking down, breathing, no thinking. And that is the key to medicine of one. That quiet, spacious, because as you saw, it's spacious. Space is love. And we all survive by contracting. The opposite of who we are, which is spacious, is how we survive. So it's no wonder that we get disconnected, lose our sense of it. Because from the time we're little people, we're all trying to survive. And a lot of times nobody's given us a lot of help. And so in our journey through life and this survival, because it's contraction, we contract so that it can't move and we don't have to feel something. We contract around difficult things like terror, rage, deep hurt and grief. We contract. We don't let them move. All kinds of ways you could describe it. Deny it. Walk away from it. Leave whatever it is that disturbs you behind. But what you leave behind is yourself. What you try to do is you try to throw out of this circle that I showed you what disturbs you. But in that act, you create separation. You create many within the one. And these many I call the little I's that are our stories. And the circle, your I am quiet here presence, is the big I. And the key is to be the big I to the little I's. To be the sky to all that moves within it. To let the weather, so to speak, complete itself and keep moving and flowing. And in that sense, we can live at the center. But by this contraction, we stop its movement. We collect these sort of vortices of contracted energy that have a charge, and they become our stories. There's a story trapped within that we believe something about. So in Medicine 1, it's this sense of invoking. Excuse me for a minute. I need to look for my boy here. Okay, he's over here throwing up. We don't need to look at that. Things happen to us. We try to survive them. We contract. A story is created. Usually it's people that are involved in what disturbs us in life. So it's like we create this energetic pattern of the story that has the unmoved emotional energies, and we carry them inside of our personal little self. It's all within the big I, but we start to identify with these little personal I's, and we identify with their perception of the world. So all these stories, we have a belief about them, and we think we're right. We're right. This person did this to me, and I'm right, and they need to do this. So if the whole point in all of this is to abide in your quiet I am presence through this self-attention, self-inquiry, this just be quiet. And the problem is all the noise that's going on from our stories that draw us out of the center where we are the circle. And we keep trying to throw them out of the circle, which pushes us out of the center. That it must be that the opposite is the way back to the center. Through being our spacious, quiet, I am presence to whatever moves inside of us. You could call it loving awareness, affectionate awareness. And if we could do that as we move through life, and all manner of things happen, from extreme traumas to little nuisance things that happen to us that we get caught up in thinking about. And our thinking is contraction. Our thinking is control. Our thinking is, how can I get out of not feeling the way that I feel right now? Now, if I'm right, I'll feel better. So that's how we get locked in. And in life, drama is when at least two people, or two people inside of you, think they're right. And they need the other person to agree with them. And they not only need it, they want it, that's the only way they're going to feel better. You have to give it up. You have to give up being right. You have to give up what you believe. And cultivate your own quiet, loving presence to whatever moves inside of you. But then the key is, our survival has to a great extent been about not being aware of it, because that's how we deny it. So we oftentimes don't even know what it is. We just don't feel right. We don't feel good. We're maybe just sort of angry. Be willing to be the whole world. Be willing to have every possible feeling within you. give up this notion of, oh, I would never do that. Oh, I would never think that. Oh, I don't know. You, as your I am presence, are the whole world. And the whole world moves within you. Let it move. Let it move, let it move. Reminds me of a song. Da da da. Let it move, let it move, let it move. Oh da 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 dee da 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 dum. I don't remember what it is. And the sun on me right now. It's a reflection of my own I am simple, warm presence. Our I am presence is warm. It's open, it's spacious, it's soft. When we survive and contract, we get hard. We harden to ourselves, to other people in the world. And we block the way. We block the way to even sensing this, who you really are, quiet presence. It seems, what is that? What is that? So we spend years reading, trying to understand, what is that? What is that? How do you do that? And the great sages just tell us, just be quiet. But I can't. Exactly. So in the medicine of one, the way to the center and to abide as your I am presence, and if self-realization in its ultimate form is meant for you, is to clear the way, is to be free of all the stories, is to let all these energies move, and to live at the center, which I call the one noble truth. And as this living at the center in the one noble truth, we are spacious and soft first to whatever moves within us. We are love. And that is what the first thing is that extends into the world, that we give the world. And in our own unique way of loving, our gift to the world, that is our gift. Everybody has it. It's what I call the spine of your life. We all have something that when we live at the center is our gift. So, to live at the center, I've just described the way to it. It's not by trying to make the world behave in the way that you want it to. It's by you behaving, demonstrating how you want the world to be, which comes down to love, as opposed to hate, greed, selfishness, contraction. But the dilemma is that survival, which we're all trying to do in this reality, so-called reality, is to contract. So you can see the problem. How to remain open and spacious to life and let it all move through you. And the medicine of one is just my sort of way of talking about it by using a circle. My particular way of bringing the energies back into this spaciousness that you are, to let them move, to bring them into your awareness. And there are many ways to do that, obviously. There are many perspectives. And so in the sense, this is what leads to, if it's meant for you, what is called self-realization. But you give up making that happen. You just walk the path. You practice abiding as your I am. And you use life to help you. You create a different relationship between your emotional being and yourself. One that is unified, harmonious, full of movement, rather than one is full of contraction and self-hate. And all this beautiful land and the sun and the sky and the birds and everything, they just help me remember who I am. They help me be quiet. They help me to sort of sit in the vibration and resonance of that connects us all. Which is why people who are truly self-realized, that's what they do. They are like this sacred place as their own being and bodily form that helps us remember who we are. And that's the whole point. To remember who we are more and more every day. Just make that the goal. Butterfly just flew by me. So the mystery in me honors the mystery in you. One great mystery. One beautiful, spacious mystery.